Today is February 2nd. It's a little bit cold. It's a little bit windy today. Today it's kind of much brighter out because I worked in the morning. Now I'm off and I'm going home. Got a protein bar. Feeling pretty good. Except I'm also feeling kind of tired because usually, you know what? I don't care enough to even think about that or talk about that. No, what I really was curious about, what I really was thinking about just a few moments ago, and by a few moments ago, I mean like 7 minutes-ish, something like that. 7, maybe 10. I was thinking about a conversation I had with one of my sister's friends a while back. And part of the topic of conversations, a topic of conversation was one's happiness and what can make someone happy. Something like that. And, well, specifically, I just remember me saying that I only feel happy and not happy. I only feel fulfilled when I am serving another person, helping another person, taking care of another person. You know, that sort of thing. And she protested this over and over and over and over and over. She said, oh, well, I tried the same thing, and it only made me feel worse. I thought it made me feel better. It only made me worse and worse and worse, and it was making me worse the whole time. And I said, cool, fun, but that's you, and we're two different people. And she would just say, again and again and again, trust me, I've done it, won't make you happy. I said, cool, I've done it, it's made me happy. It's made me feel fulfilled. It's made me feel like I have purpose. And what I was wondering about is, why do people seem to have this concept that their one view of reality... Whoa, that's a loud truck. Jesus. That their one view of reality is absolutely unshakable, and what is true to them must be absolutely true to everyone else. I am no exception. I believe that's not true. I'm a phenomenal exception to the degree of I believe that the things that apply to me do not, and for the most part, well, for some parts, cannot apply to other people. It's like reverse hypocrisy, I don't know. It's like the exact opposite. I'm not so unshakable in my beliefs and so prideful as to say that it is impossible that I am wrong. I am not dumb enough to say that or believe that. But that doesn't mean I will believe other things. I believe in the existence of God as the origin of the universe. Could I be wrong? Sure. 100%. I will openly admit I could be wrong. I am not. I can also confidently say I am not wrong. I could be, but I'm not. Maybe I am, but I'm not. You know, you get what I'm saying? No, you don't. Nobody ever does, because that's another thing. That's so weird. You know, people don't seem to grasp that you can believe, that you can understand. When I said that, I could be wrong, but I am not. People don't understand that statement. People think you either believe you can be wrong or you believe you can't. And I have yet to meet a single other human being who's an exception to that. Everyone is stuck in this false dichotomy of, I am so incredibly confident in my beliefs that it's not beliefs, it's not confidence, it's knowledge of a reality. And yet, I can also admit that knowledge of a reality could be wrong. For example, let's say, we'll take gravity, because I used a gravity example a while ago when I was talking to somebody else about something completely different, but it works in this case scenario as well. If we understand gravity in a strange way, in a way that I don't really understand it, actually, to be completely honest. But what I do know is that gravity is not little invisible spirits pulling you towards something. It's a wave. It's a function of reality. I will 100% absolute confidence with reality say that it is not little spirits. I can also confidently say that it's possible it's little spirits. How the hell would we know? How can I prove in the supernatural or the inexistence of the supernatural? You can't. Proof is a weird word, because unlike what a lot of people believe, proof and science do not coincide whatsoever. Science is based on the evidence we have to show the most likely reality of the world around us, of the natural world around us. Science does not deal in proof. Science does not deal with truth, because science constantly changes all the time. There is no such thing as a settled science. That's not a thing. It's not reality, because as soon as you put the word settled, as soon as you put the word fact, as soon as you put the word proof, it is no longer science. The moment you try and make it an absolute, it is not science. It is a belief. Science is our best attempt at an explanation at the natural world and how it works. It doesn't I don't understand how people could believe it's so strange. No. Science isn't a fact. Facts deal with the absolute. Truth deals with the absolute and the unchanging. I'm lowering my volume, for my voice at least, because here's some good old poll worker, or I don't know what, he's working on an electrical box, I think. Like peace of mind as I pass by him. That is cool. I've never actually seen the inside of one of those boxes. It's interesting. Obviously, I'm not going to record that because I'm not going to record people, random people. Not that weird. Weird enough to talk to myself and talking to a camera. Not weird enough to record people, I don't know. Anyway, I forgot where I was. I was dealing with how science isn't a fact. It's not. Because the fact is, the reality is, science is constantly changing. We used to believe that gravity was what determined how fast something falls. Now we know it's air resistance, which, by the way, that makes no fucking sense. Gravity is a force that becomes a direct measure. Gravity affects weight. Weight affects the direct measure of how strong the an object, I'll say, its pull on you is. If you weigh 160 pounds, that means that the earth is pulling you towards it with 160 pounds of force. How in the goddamn, how does that not correlate directly to how fast something falls? We know it doesn't. We know it's air resistance. But what? You're telling me that how strong the force you are being pulled by doesn't actually determine how strong or how fast you are being pulled? Does that mean that with the hammer and the feather, does that mean they fall the same, but the hammer is heavier, or the hammer is harder to stop? Has more inertia, maybe more inertia. Yeah, I think inertia is the right word. Maybe that's the case. Maybe gravity, but that doesn't. I don't know. I really don't know. That's something I've wondered for a while. How is it that if gravity can be stated as a measurement of the force of the Earth's pull, well, anything's pull, but the Earth in this example, how is it, you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm so lost on this subject. And it doesn't make sense, but it does make sense, but it doesn't make sense. And this is what I'm saying about how science can't be science. Because this, right now, the idea that there's something more to the relationship between gravity and something falling than just air resistance, the fact that there's something more underneath there, to me, to anyone hearing, might just sound like a load of completely idiotic nonsense. But somewhere down the line, 20, 30, 40 years, who knows how many, who knows how long, we might just find that there is something more. And what seemed like completely idiotic nonsense was all of a sudden what's the word I'm looking for? A progenitor of a thought, the beginning of a great thought, the beginning of an evolution in the tracks of our knowledge of the material world, the physical, the natural world. Physical world sounds better, because if we are to assume that supernatural being, what we regard as supernatural beings, ghosts and all that sort, and spirits and gods and demons, if we are to assume that they do exist, then they would not be supernatural. They would be natural. But then again, what defines natural? What defines natural? My initial thought is, well, something found in nature. But when we think nature, we think the earth, the ground, But does that mean that objects in space aren't natural? When we say natural, we mean naturally occurring. Something that wasn't afflicted by an external source. But if that's the case, let's say you believe, let's say you're Christian, you believe in God, you believe that God created everything in the universe, then by that regard, God would be the only natural thing in existence, because everything else was created by an external source, or was at least influenced into creation by an external source, therefore making it unnatural. And God would be the only natural thing. Is natural just something that was created by the hands of God? Or secondarily, something that was created by something that was created by the hands of God? I don't really know. I'm going to rush across this street because there's a car coming. Yeehaw. Woo! But if that were the case, obviously we wouldn't use natural in such a common way. Oh. I'm going to cut things short today. I'm going to do it intentionally because I'm about to walk up on my gym and I need to change my membership. I currently only have I go to a CrossFit gym, and currently I only have things set to go 3 days a week, but I want to up that. I'm not sure by how much right now, but I want that to be a much greater number, or at least a slightly greater number. Closing thoughts. Wow, it feels nice to get some closing thoughts in, despite the fact that I'm gonna think more on my walk home from the gym. What are closing thoughts? Closing thoughts is we don't know anything. We don't know anything, and anyone who claims that they know exactly how the world works, anyone who claims to know that our knowledge is settled into fact, anyone who claims that anything is absolute or truth or proof, they're a complete idiot who has no idea what the hell they're talking about. no idea. Maybe a little bit of an idea, but they don't fully grasp what they're talking about. Well, I'm here. My time's ran out. See you guys for day 4, I guess.